Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today here on Living Local Carolina. I've got a really special story today. I am joined in studio by Michelle Apple. Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to share your story. Let's go get right into it here.
So I'm actually this week, a 5-year breast cancer survivor.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And for many breast cancer patients, that's a huge milestone. So my journey started when my diagnosis actually got missed. I had a lump under my armpit, and I had to, obviously get a mammogram, standard stuff, and unfortunately they came back and said everything's fine, go on with your life, it's just a lymph node. And my mom got sick with bile duct cancer, I ended up taking care of her, and I got shingles. This ended up growing. I still ignored it because I thought, they did the mammogram, the doctor came back and said everything's fine. So when she had passed, I then got finally checked up and found out that I ended up being stage 3, 23 lymph nodes were cancerous. Full mastectomy, chemo, radiation. And so, the journey is very long, and many of us are still on medication now. So that was a huge part of me starting the foundation, because I wanted people to understand that when you do have a lump, that we do have to push for ultrasound and maybe advocate for ourselves a little bit more that maybe we don't know. So we do provide a mentor program with the Apple Breast Cancer Foundation, so that when a newly diagnosed patient comes through and they call and they need help or support, we mentor them with another patient that has gone through breast cancer. So again, we don't miss things like, you had a lump, you should have pushed for an ultrasound. Did they do a bone density scan in the beginning, or a nuclear bone scan? Those type of things we educate, because it's overwhelming. When you get that diagnosis and you're told you have cancer, it literally, you go through denial, you go through acceptance, and then you go through, for me, it was, I'm gonna fight this. There's no way I'm gonna let this breast cancer define me. And hopefully I can help other patients along the way.
And a big thing to you is nutrition, obviously with what you do.
Yeah, so
How did that help you?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So I'm a dietitian by trade. And I tell many patients that it's so important as you go through this journey that you find a way to take care of yourself, because you're putting chemo, which is really literally poison in your body to kill the cancer. So I fought it back with things like fruits, vegetables, juicing, using other counteractive parts so that I could go in there and say, my gosh, I feel better by doing more fruits, more vegetables, eating a healthier lifestyle, which I did before, because people would say to me, Michelle, you're a dietitian, you work out, you take care of yourself. How did you get breast cancer? I said, breast cancer does not discriminate, but what I can tell you, and I tell all your viewers, take care of yourself so that when something comes along like breast cancer, that you can fight it and you're strong enough to fight it. So I had no other underlying conditions besides the fact that I had the cancer. So I was able to fight it pretty good.
Let's talk more about the fight. And that brings us to the bag that you're holding right there. You're able to really pay this forward now and help patients that are going through the exact same thing that you did.
Yeah, so I wanted to educate, advocate. Our foundation helps with medical bills and travel expenses. And then the other special thing we do is the comfort bags. And why these are so important, I got a comfort bag as I was going through my treatments. And it contains things like a blanket, a message of hope, and then the message of hope that we did last year was from 7th and 8th graders. They actually drew pictures and they wrote messages, just simple things like, I'm thinking of you. I hope that this brings a smile to your face. So the standard stuff we have is lip balm, sanitizer. We're always looking for makeup bags. And so if any women out there have extra makeup bags, you have them laying around. What, Ipsy bags we were talking about, and Estee Lauder bags. We use them to put the items in, like the lip balm and sanitizer and so forth. So any donations are accepted, but the staple items are the Footies with Grip, the blanket, the lip balm, sanitizer, and that type of stuff. So we donate these to local cancer centers. So this year we went to McLeod Health Cancer Center. We did Grand Strand, Conway Medical Center, and then Coastal Carolina Cancer Centers as well. It's well needed in this area. There's many patients that are getting it. We'd love to do 300 to 400 is our goal. So we need your viewers to reach out and donate items, and then we deliver them right before the holidays to bring a smile to their face. So sometime in December, and then we take the donations all the way up into August.
Perfect.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Living Local Carolina. My goodness, this is my office for today. I'm out here with Coach Goody. What's up? How are you?
You are in my world, yeah. Doesn't it feel awesome? Check it out. What a day. We're going to play some volleyball in the sand, a little beach volleyball. Are you ready?
I am kind of ready. Let's first talk about what you do and how you got all of these volleyball courts.
Yeah, so super exciting. It was 2013, and my daughter, she was like 13 years old, and she was playing indoor volleyball, club volleyball, and she's like, I played beach, and she always would watch Dad go off and play in these tournaments and stuff. And she's like, Dad, I want to learn to play beach volleyball. Can you teach me? And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's do it. And I said, well, we had 3 courts down here at the time. I was like, well, why don't we get your teammates, see if anyone else wants to come? And we started a little club, and we had like 20 kids, and we did a couple months of training, and that's how it started.
And it's grown to be pretty darn big now.
It has. It slowly grew, and really COVID, surprisingly, is what helped it grow, because there wasn't a lot of things going on, but we were allowed to do beach volleyball, and I was kind of one of the first sports that kind of went back out and got the kids going. It was a little scary at first, but once everyone got out there, it was so exciting, and it just blew up. And the tournaments, we had more and more people coming here for the tournaments, and since then it's really grown more and more. So it's exciting.
Love it. And you were saying that this is the kind of sport that's for everybody, you know, all levels, all ages.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because I mean, everybody kind of, oh yeah, I love volleyball. You know, they remember in PE playing, and maybe they had 4 on one side, or maybe they had 8, right? So it just kind of depends where you're at, whether you're out at a family picnic or whether you're a professional playing 2-on-2. You know, whether you have 10 on one side and 10 on the other, or 2-on-2. So there's a lot of flexibility, and people just want to play and have a good time. Yeah. So it's fun.
Love it. So for people that might be watching this right now and are interested in playing a game or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, how can they do that? Can they get in contact with you?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the deal?
Yeah, so my website is, I have 2 different, you have grandstrandsand.com, so they can reach out there. And then really, you just come out here. These courts are free to use to the public, so just come out and play. You know, you need a ball, you know, call some friends and get out here and play.
Well, today I am joined by Cecile Walks Peace, an author. I am so happy to talk to you today. How are you doing?
Same here. I'm great. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is such a treat. We're going to be talking about your book, Gigi's Gems, that you just released this year. This was a huge deal.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it was.
Tell me, there's a story behind this.
There's a story behind Gigi's Gems. Gigi's Gems is loosely based on my mom, Irma Walks, and her bout with dementia. So the story, Gigi's Gems, is a children's picture book, beautifully illustrated by Cameron Wilson, and it's about 3 children and their great-grandmother, their queen, Gigi.
I love it. I love it. So tell me, what was your inspiration to start writing this book? You've been an author for quite some time, right?
I have. So I've done some ghost writing on a few projects, both here and also in the continent of Africa with some friends. And now it's just an opportunity for me to release Gigi's Gems, pretty much to just tell the story of how dementia is affecting our family, to allow our children to have an opportunity to talk about some tough topics.
Tough topics that you illustrate and talk about beautifully, but tell me, how do you make that palatable for children?
So one of the things about children is that if you give them the opportunity to understand, if I can understand it, then with my teaching background, I've been able to teach them how to understand tough topics. So oftentimes it's just an opportunity to empower them, and in this particular story, the children are trying to unlock Gigi's memories. Mm-hmm. And they find that they have to dig a little bit deeper than just on the surface of Gigi's favorite times with them. And it's the youngest one that finds the key to unlock those memories.
Oh.
Yes.
Very interesting. All right, so tell me, for anyone who wants to read this book, where can they purchase it?
They can purchase this book, Target, Amazon. It's purchased online. It's also at Black Sugar and Spice Books. It was picked up as well there. And so it's an online purchase.
And if people want to stay, with you while you write more books in the future, social media?
Yes, social media. Find me on IG as well as on our website, walksinpeace.com.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Great to be here with you today and share something that is very important to us, and that's Project Golf. I'm Gary Shaw, and I want to share with you some enthusiasm I've got for the program since I was here with it when it started in 2018. We were a nonprofit given birth by our parent company, Golf Tourism Solutions, which has been driving golf in Myrtle Beach for 5 or 6 decades. And they looked up a couple years ago and said, we are bringing a lot of people into Myrtle Beach. We call ourselves the golf capital of the world. From the Rust Belt all the way up into New England, out west, people are coming to Myrtle Beach. But they said, just a minute, we've kind of ignored this exploding metropolis of Myrtle Beach of residents, locals. So they said, why don't we let's find somebody that can run this nonprofit. We want to bring the game to our disabled veterans, our underserved youth, and the beginners. So we'll grow the game. And we'll take the game to these golfers. We'll try to remove barriers that are in the way of their playing. And the biggest one was access and instruction. So we started with our beginners, and then we morphed into working with a disabled veteran under a program subsidized by the PGA of America called PGA Hope. Hope is an acronym standing for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. I was asked to start it up because I somewhat fit the mold. I'm a veteran and a PGA member, and I served as the PGA's president for a term back in the 90s. So we got started off, and we found out the VA was very cooperative. They were pipelining all the veterans to us, and in no time at all, our classes became full. We can teach about 20, 22 veterans at a time, men and women, all with disabilities, some passive, some very visible. And we feel like we're doing some good, and we're getting these veterans back into society, and they're doing a good job of engaging with other veterans to play golf. And we're finding the same thing with the beginners. And we haven't quite developed a full-fledged junior program, but we know that's going to be the case, where we'll remove barriers to their getting into the game. And the PGA told us when we started PGA Hope, if you're anything like the other chapters around the country, you're going to save lives. And I thought to myself, as the executive director, that's a bit of a stretch. How do you save lives through golf? And after these 5 years now, Angel and I will agree that we are saving lives. We hear it from the veterans, we hear it from the veteran spouse, and we hear it from the veteran's family. So it's a great program. They're telling us how much at the end of the classes when they graduate after 6 weeks, what value it has to them, and that value is engagement with family and community. So we feel real good about it. And I would throw in on the statistics and metrics from the PGA of America is that there are about 160 chapters in the country, and the Carolinas leads the country in registrations and graduations, and Myrtle Beach leads the Carolinas. So we're real happy about the visibility we've received. And as a nonprofit, of course, our goal is to seek funding. So that's our next real initiative, is to turn up the heat on getting donations.
So as Gary was saying, the impact that we're making on our community is huge. We're creating a community of golfers, and our golfers are overcoming obstacles, improving their social, mental, and physical well-being. You know, with 22 veterans committing suicide each day, golf has changed their life, and in some cases, it's saved their lives. You know, some of them struggle 7 days a week, but for those 2 hours a day, they're coming out here and they're not thinking about those struggles. And because we're helping them with their abilities, and they're forgetting about their disabilities. And so if you guys would like to help us, please visit us at projectgolf.org and learn a little bit more about what we do and how you can support.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.